Hey, what's up guys? So I'm Steve Camrad. I'm here with ADVMoto. We're testing out the new Alta Redshift EXR, which is their dual sport model, which has a street legal plate and turn signals and a headlight and everything. So it's just a really rad bike, and this is your first kind of look at it. It's been a really neat experience riding these bikes. They're silent. You're not used to that. There's no clutch, there's no stalling it, there's no revs. And it's really cool when you're coming into a turn and you're braking, you can actually blow a turn, come in way too hot, jump all over the rear brake and lock it up. And then when you go to let it go, you don't have to worry about whether you had the clutch in or whether your RPMs are right or you're in the right gear. You just go again.
Whoops. Oh, I'm kind of jammed in here. There we go. That was easy.
So it's like super helpful for people who might not be the most confident on a dirt bike, and it just makes riding a dirt bike way easier.
That is so easy. I never would have been able to do that with a clutch bike and a gas.
And then there's that whole silent operation thing where people are like, oh, I can ride it in my backyard, you know, I can ride it here, ride it there. Yeah, dude, it's going to be great for that. It's super cool, but then it also sounds really sweet. Like there's this electric, it's not brap, it's bzzrat. And so some of the questions you guys had were like, what's the range? Well, we did 14 miles of really tight single track, a lot of hill climbs and stuff, and we were running them pretty hard, and it whacked off about half the battery. So, you know, 30, 32 miles probably is going to be your range if you're running these really hard. It's not as light as a two-stroke, but it's not as scary as a two-stroke.
If you had to do this trip on a two-stroke, you'd be vibrating your brains out.
It's just got all this predictable power. It has 4 rider modes, so you can choose between one, which is kind of really mellow. It'll still do 50 horsepower and put it all down, but it's just really mellow in that power delivery. And 4 is kind of explosive, like it just wants to just throw rocks out of the earth and into the sky. So you probably don't need all that. The suspension on this is all Explorer WP unit stuff, so it's really set up nice for being a dual sport bike. You know, Alta really listened when they were like, oh, you know, we're going to put the 4CS forks on there, and everybody voted it down. So Alta didn't do it, which is like a progressive, really cool company. And the bike's just been a ton of fun to ride. It's not super intimidating. We got to ride them in the street, and they are a little crazy on the asphalt with the knobbies that they have because they just make all this torque.
Nerds. So ridiculous. Well, watch this. 40 miles an hour. Picks the front end right up.
And you could spin out and probably hurt yourself pretty easily.
God damn it.
But all in the trails, they make a ton of grip. They're super predictable. The throttle response and the way that it puts down the power is better than anything you've ever ridden. And if you get a chance to ride one of these, I'd highly recommend it. Thanks for tuning in. Bzzrat.